Millions of Americans are anticipating football's biggest night this weekend with Super Bowl Sunday. But another big part of the game, and arguably the biggest for some people, are the ads. Joining me now to discuss this a little bit more is Chief Content Officer for Adweek, Zoë Ruderman. Zoë, thanks so much for taking the time to do this. What are you most excited about? I said I was excited for the Clydesdales, but what are you most excited to see?
I'm excited for the Clydesdales. You know, listen, I get excited for the humor. I get excited for the celeb spotting, but I'm like you. I like those moments that make you tear up. I'm not afraid to admit it.
No,
and make you sort of pull at your
heartstrings. My kids make fun of me, but those are great commercials.
Totally. And also, there's going to be a lot of nostalgia moments, too, so I'm all in for that.
All right, so we're told the focus this year is going to be women, that advertisers are going to be targeting women. Is that first out of the ordinary? One would think that most on a Super Bowl Sunday would target men. This year, targeting women. Why? So
historically, nearly 50% of the audience for Super Bowl has been women. So this isn't a new trend. We know that more women are watching NFL games, but for Super Bowl, it's been pretty split even. Now, keep in mind, if we look at the timeline of Taylor and Travis, they came out publicly in September. Most brands had to buy their Super Bowl spots in the fall. So this isn't something that you can, you know, a couple weeks ago when you know the Chiefs are in the game, that Taylor's probably going to be there, you can't suddenly pivot, buy a 30-second spot, do your creative from scratch. So yes, you're going to see more brands targeting females and specifically younger women, but it's not going to be across the board all about the Taylor effect.
Okay, yeah, you can't blame everything on Taylor Swift.
You cannot.
Or
That's
attribute
true.
everything to her. Another big push is to attract new audience. The game's being broadcast in Spanish on Univision. It's not the first time that's happened, but what kind of opportunity does this present to advertisers?
This is really huge. So there's a number of brands doing Spanish language only content, spots on Univision. There's a really great spot that's directed by Fred Armisen, who is part Venezuelan. It's a nod to the song Suavemente. It's for Total by Verizon. Nissan has another Spanish language spot with an SNL Latino star. The price point is lower, too, because the audience is slightly smaller. So we don't know how much lower, but it allows for other brands to get it in speak directly to this audience.
You mentioned price point. We always talk about how much a 30-second ad costs in the Super Bowl. This year, what is it going for?
It is not cheap.
No, it's never cheap.
Just to be clear, it is $7 million for a 30-second spot. Now, keep in mind, that's just to buy the airtime. So that's not the creative shooting, and that is definitely not paying the celebrities, of which there are many.
Yeah, and some of these have like 5, 6, 7, 8 celebrities in them.
Yeah, it used to be that it was sort of a wow moment when you saw one star, maybe 2 stars together. Now we're seeing spots with celebrities in the double digits, and it's not uncommon to see 3, 4, 5 stars in one spot.
You know, you mentioned Taylor Swift, and you can't talk about this game with her boyfriend being such a huge player in the game without talking about her. Do you know of any specific companies that are targeting Swifties?
Absolutely. So we know that there are a few brands targeting young women. So Dove is coming back after a near-decade hiatus, and they're targeting specifically young women. It's about how young girls drop out of sports when they hit puberty, and it's about getting them to stay in the game. Elf, the beauty brand, is coming back with a whole slew of celebrities. We know they're targeting women, especially young women. Etsy, which we think of as more of like a female-skewing brand, is in it for the first time. And then Nerds, the candy brand, which is like, you know, the candy of my youth. So they're coming back. They're going to have Addison Rae in the spot. So definitely we're seeing a shift towards influencer, TikTok generation.
Okay. And just finally, you've seen some of these, right? So why do companies release them early? Is that, you know, to generate this kind of buzz?
Exactly. So it goes back to the price. If you're going to spend $10 million on 30 seconds, you want it to have longevity. So a lot of these brands are releasing it a week or 2 in advance. And it's about like the teases. So you start to see, like Uber Eats, for example. You knew that the Beckhams were in it, and they sort of tease, is Jennifer Aniston going to be in it? Then it turns out that there's a whole Ross and Rachel moment with Jennifer and David Schwimmer. So it's about creating that buzz leading up to it. Then there's a whole social campaign the night of, and then you see the long tail effect as they sort of do more of it.
You've got that's just companies trying to get their money's worth.
Absolutely, yeah.
$7 million for 30 seconds.
$7 million, yes, and it's only going to go up next year.
Okay, it only does. I don't think it's ever gone down.
Exactly.
All right. Chief Content Officer for Adweek, Zoë Ruderman, thanks so much for breaking it down for us. Look forward to it.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.